Let's get started. We will begin in Uttanasana at the top of our mat. I'll go ahead and ask Bree to face the camera as she begins to roll her neck from side to side, drawing circles with her head, massaging out her neck. And from here, we'll go ahead and take one hand to our opposite ear and pull it down towards our shoulder, keeping our other hand extended or by our side. Feeling a stretch in our neck, we'll go ahead and switch hands, bringing our ear to our shoulder with the pressure from our hand. Breathing in and breathing out. We'll go ahead and begin to draw circles with our hips as we lower our hand, bringing our hands to our hips or by our side. Breathing in and breathing out. We'll go ahead and change the direction of the circle, keeping our feet grounded and elongating our spine. We'll go ahead and come to Samasthiti with our hands at heart center, taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out, bringing our attention to our thoughts, reminding ourselves to embrace challenges, to have balance in our life, to express gratitude, reminding ourselves that challenges are our greatest teachers. From here, we'll go ahead and reach one hand above our head and bend to the side, elongating our obliques, keeping our feet firmly grounded, hip-width distance apart. We'll switch onto the other side, extending the other arm overhead. Breathing in and breathing out. From here, we'll go ahead and bring both feet together as we dip one shoulder back with our hands following, and then dip the other shoulder back, twisting at the torso, gazing at the shoulder that's behind us. Breathing in and breathing out. We'll go ahead and stack our elbows, one in front of the other. And from here, we'll go ahead and switch the stack. We'll go ahead and bring our elbows to either side of us, and we'll begin to draw circles with both elbows, with our fingertips at our shoulder. And from here, we'll go ahead and bring our elbows to the sky, reaching our hands behind us, and we have the option to bring our palms together in prayer behind our head. Go ahead and breathe in and breathe out as we bend forward, hinging at the hips into a forward fold. We'll go ahead and bring one foot in front of the other at the ankle, placing our palms on the ground, feeling a stretch here, swaying from side to side. From here, we'll go ahead and switch our feet, placing the other foot behind, keeping our palms on the ground. From here, we'll go ahead and lift our palms and keep our fingertips at the floor, and lift our toes as high as we can get them, bending our elbow if we need, bending our knees if we need. Breathing in and breathing out, keeping our toes crossed at the ankle. We'll go ahead and switch the cross, bringing the other foot forward and staying on our toes. Breathing in and breathing out. From here, we'll go ahead and place our heels to the ground as we twist at the torso and at the hip, bringing our hands to our feet and our torso and our chest to the corners of our mat. From here, we'll go ahead and switch sides, twisting in the other direction. And from here, we'll go ahead and come to standing. Bring your hands behind our back, at our hips, and leaning back, stretching back as much as we can, gazing up. And from here, we'll come into a forward fold, reaching our hands parallel over our head, behind us, revolving our hands. And from here, we'll go ahead and bring our hands behind our feet, trying to place the palms firmly onto the ground, behind our heel, if we can, just creeping our fingers behind. And from here, we'll go ahead and come to one side with both hands on the floor. And we'll go ahead and switch to the other side. From here, we'll bring our head between our feet at our knees. We'll slowly bring our hands behind our head if we can, trying to find balance. Feeling a stretch, really warming up our bodies. And from here, we'll release our head, bringing our palms and trying to reach our elbows to the ground as we bend our knees. We'll go ahead and creep our fingers and our arms forward and creep them back. And from here, we'll go ahead and extend our feet out, bringing our toes to face inward and our heels facing outward. And we'll feel a stretch on the sides of our leg as we keep our palms grounded, bending our elbows if we need. And from here, as our toes are still twisted, we'll go ahead and come onto our toes, releasing our heels from the ground, feeling a stretch in our calves and our quads. And from here, we'll go ahead and point our toes out and our heels in, stretching, bringing our hands to the ground if we can. With our feet apart, we'll go ahead and bring them closer in. And from here, we'll bring our feet to parallel as we bring our leg up, bending one leg. We'll go ahead and take both hands and pull on our ankle as we bring our leg up, bringing our knees to our nose. And from here, we'll go ahead and place that leg back down as we lift our other leg. We'll go ahead and bend it and place our hands at our foot or our ankle and bend forward. And from here, we'll come to standing as we bring one leg up, holding it and stretching. We'll go ahead and place that foot back down as we lift our other leg up, bending it and holding it. And from here, we'll come into a sun B as we take a seated position. Bring your hips down, bending your knees, and bring your hands parallel, palms facing towards each other. Taking a deep seat here as we breathe in and breathe out, coming back to our intentions, embracing challenges, finding balance in our lives, being grateful. And from here, we'll go ahead and hinge at the hips into a forward fold, hugging your knees into our nose, swaying from side to side as we come into Uttanasana, halfway fold. We'll go ahead and gaze at the horizon as we bring our feet back, we'll go ahead and come into Chaturanga, keeping our body straight. As we bring our ribcage up, we'll come into upward facing dog, shining our hearts forward, elongating our elbows, keeping our knees and toes on the ground. We'll go ahead and push our hips back into downward facing dog as we exhale. Go ahead and draw our navel in, prance out our feet, sway our hips from side to side as we get ready to come into Warrior One, bringing our forward leg in front and our back leg behind, bending the forward leg, keeping our hands up, palms facing each other in parallel, our navel drawn in. Go ahead and square our hips to the short end of our mat, breathing in and breathing out, finding balance in this pose as we convert this physical balance into our lives, balancing out our life with our family, our work, our health. And from here, we'll come into Chaturanga as we bend our elbows and lower our bodies to the ground, coming up into upward facing dog by straightening our elbows, gazing forward, bringing our hips off the ground. And from here, we'll exhale as we come into downward facing dog, breathing in and breathing out. Again, coming back to our breath. Breathing in and breathing out. We'll bring the other leg forward as we come into Warrior One, bringing our palms up, parallel, our forward foot bent, our back leg straight, our shoulder blades drawn back, our navel drawn in, our chest out, our hips squared to the short end of our mat. Again, remembering our intentions for this practice, recognizing that any obstacle is really a challenge that's here to help you grow and to teach you and provide you with growth and knowledge for the future. And from here, we'll go ahead and come into a Chaturanga as we bend our elbows, come onto our toes, and we'll go ahead and come into upward facing dog, straightening our elbows, puffing out our chest, drawing our shoulders back and down. We'll hold it here as we elongate our sternum, taking a deep breath in, and on our next exhale, we'll go ahead and come into downward facing dog. We'll go ahead and come into a few breaths here as we breathe in and breathe out. And on our next inhale, we'll come into Ardha Uttanasana, halfway fold, keeping your back parallel. And from here, we'll come into full fold as we exhale, breathing in and breathing out. And on our next inhale, we'll come into Utkatasana, bringing our hands above our head, finding a nice seat, bending our knees. Go ahead and hold it here as we breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. We'll come to standing as we go ahead and stretch back. Bring your hands above our head, palms facing each other. We'll go ahead and hinge to one side. And from here, we'll hinge to the other side. We'll come back into a seated chair position as we bring our hips back, our sit bones back, our knees forward, our chest forward, and our hands parallel above our head. We'll slowly come into a forward fold, keeping our palms to the ground or at our leg, stretching the muscles that we see fit for our own bodies. And from here, we'll gaze at the horizon as we come into Ardha Uttanasana, halfway fold. We'll step our feet back as we come into Chaturanga, bending our elbows, breathing in, and on our next inhale, we'll go ahead and come into upward facing dog. And on our next exhale, we'll come into downward facing dog. We'll go ahead and play out our feet, draw in our navel, bring our hands forward. As we come into Warrior One, we'll bring one foot forward and the other behind us, keeping our hands above our head. Coming deeper into the stretch, we'll go ahead and bring our sit bones and our hips down, reminding ourselves of all that we are grateful for, our loved ones, our ability to practice today. We'll go ahead and begin to build a vision for our future, for a goal that we may have, thinking of any goal or vision or future that you may want to have. Go ahead and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out as we come into Chaturanga. And on our next inhale, we'll come into upward facing dog. And on our next exhale, we'll come into downward facing dog. We'll go ahead and breathe here as we play out our feet, bringing our other leg forward and our hands up as we come into Warrior One. Again, building on that vision, continue to letting it grow. Thinking of a change that you may want to make and beginning to plan the steps that you may take to have that vision flourish and that change take place. Go ahead and breathe in and breathe out, knowing that you are capable of change, of a better future that you may want. And from here, we'll come into Chaturanga, and on our next inhale, we'll come into upward facing dog. And from here, we'll go ahead and come into downward facing dog. As we slowly rise to Ardha Uttanasana, gazing at the horizon, knowing that the future that you envision is closer than it may seem. Breathing in and breathing out, coming into a full fold. Exhaling out any obstacles that may come your way. Rising up as we come into a seated chair position, Utkatasana. And from here, we'll go in and come to Tadasana at the top of our mat. Bring your hands together in Samasthiti. Go ahead and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. A deep breath in and a deep breath out. We'll come into Virabhajasana, Warrior One, with our hips extended and squared, one inflection internally rotated, our shoulders extended, our shoulder blades together, our chest lifted, broad, our head and chin dropped back, away from our chest, our core engaged, our pelvis engaged, our hip flexors active, our psoas muscles engaged, our navel supporting our back, and our gaze up. Breathing in as we raise your hands up, breathing out as you bring them down. lifting your spine from the base, bringing that vision back into your mind, in the forefront of your head. And from here, we'll come into a reverse warrior as we bring our back hand to our back leg and our forward hand above our head. Go ahead and breathe in and breathe out, keeping our knees active, our knee above our ankle with our forward leg, and our back leg arched, grounding our toes, keeping them wide, pointing them straight, keeping the weight of our body on our forward leg, grounding our toes, keeping them wide, parallel to the long end of our mat, our arms active, reaching our calf, palms facing down, our fingers together, our shoulders broad, and our scapula towards each other, rolled back and away from our ears, extended. Our ribcage laterally stretched, broad and lifted upwards. And from here, we'll come into a pyramid pose, adjusting our feet if we need, bending forward, bringing our stomach to our thigh and our chest to our knee, placing our hands on either side of our leg if we'd like, breathing in and breathing out. And from here, we'll come onto our forward leg as we come into Warrior 3, bringing our back leg up, pointing our toes to the ground, bringing our hands in front, really making sure that they're in line with our leg as much as we can get it, keeping our gaze down. And from here, we'll come into a high lunge as we bind our hands together from our forward leg. We'll go ahead and bring our chest to our thigh, gazing down. We'll come out of this bind as we come to our long end of our mat with our feet separated, taking a seat, and our hands in prayer. We'll go ahead and take a deep breath in as we bring our sit bones down even further. And from here, we'll come to the other side as we bring ourselves into Warrior 1. Breathing in and breathing out, cultivating the next steps of the change that you want to embrace and the goals that you want to accomplish and the vision that you may have. Thinking of the vision of how you want your future to be. Thinking of the first steps that you may need to take, knowing that our actions are reminiscence of our thoughts. From here, we'll come into Reverse Warrior as we bring our backhand to our extended leg, adjusting our feet if we need, bringing our forward hand above our head, gazing up as we breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. We'll go ahead and adjust your feet as we come into pyramid pose. Bring your feet in a triangle shape as we bring our palms to the ground if we can, resting our chest to our thighs. Breathing in and breathing out. Using this pose as a motif for laying the foundation to what you need to accomplish to get to the top of the pyramid. Breathing in and breathing out. And from here, we'll hop into Warrior 3 as we bring our back leg behind us and our hands in front of us. trying to stay as parallel as we can. From here, we'll come into a high lunge with our forward leg bent, binding that forward leg as we extend our chest and our heart forward and to the side, gazing down, breathing in and breathing out, interlacing our fingers under our thigh. And from here, we'll come back to the long end of our mat as we take a seat with our legs apart. Bring your hands together in prayer. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. From here, we'll go ahead and come back to the short end of our mat as we come into a hovering tabletop with a neutral spine, with our hands and palms planted on the ground and our toes on the ground, our knees just above the ground as they hover, gazing down. And from here, we'll come into a forearm plank, keeping our elbows bent and our forearm on the ground and our backs in line, keeping your toes curled, our gaze down. We'll go ahead and slowly lay our chest to the floor as we bring our elbows to our side. And from here, we'll go ahead and bring our elbows behind our head in prayer and begin to slowly lift our torso up. Go ahead and extend our back, bending back, breathing in and breathing out. We'll go ahead and place our hands back down and lift ourselves up into a plank. And from here, we'll come into a downward facing dog as we exhale, our Ardha Mukha Savasana. And from here, we'll go ahead and bring our left hand to our right ankle, twisting and shining our heart to the opposite corner of the room. And from here, we'll go ahead and bring our right hand to our left ankle, twisting at the hip, feeling a stretch. And from here, we'll come into a three-legged dog as we lift our left leg up, breathing in and breathing out. We'll go ahead and place that leg back down as we lift our other leg up, breathing in and breathing out, breathing in and breathing out. And from here, we'll come into our backs, bringing our knees into our chest, swaying from side to side. Taking a moment to adjust. And from here, we'll place your hands to our lower back, lifting our legs up off the ground, resting our body on our shoulders and our upper body. We'll slowly bring our legs up and our torso up as much as we can, trying to place the entire weight of our body onto our shoulders, knowing that we may not be able to get here, and that's okay. With practice, we'll get better. And from here, we'll go ahead and bring our toes to the ground and our hands behind us, feeling a stretch not only in the upper parts of our body, but also in our quads. We'll go ahead and extend out our feet, trying to touch our hands to our toes as we bring our hands to either side of us, reaching for our toes, pulling in, really staying on our shoulders. And from here, we'll go ahead and bring our hands to our lower back, under our sit bones, as we bring our feet down, lifting up our chest, bringing our head down, pushing our body with our head, trying to create a gap between our spine and the floor, using our hands if we need to, puffing our chest up. And from here, we'll go ahead and grab onto our knees as we hug our knees into our chest, rocking from side to side. We'll go ahead and place our knees onto the left side of our mat, breathing in and breathing out. We'll come back to center as we get ready to place our knees onto the right side of our mat, breathing in and breathing out. We'll go ahead and put our leg down as we bring our left leg straight or bent, either of your preference. We'll go ahead and bring our right foot by our thigh or our knee and begin to push into it with our right hand, feeling our hips open up. We'll go ahead and repeat this onto our left side, bringing our right leg forward or bent, placing our left foot by our thigh or our knee, bending it over, pressing into our left knee as we bring it down close to the ground, breathing in and breathing out, really extenuating our muscle by pushing our knee. And from here, we'll go ahead and hug our knees into our chest again and bring them into a tabletop position as we begin to draw circles with our knees, widening our circle as far as we can get it without placing our feet onto the ground. We'll do 3 circles here as we begin to rotate our circle in the opposite direction. Breathing in and breathing out. And from here, we'll come into standing as we come to the long end of our mat, spreading our feet apart, beginning to hinge at the hip into Uttanasana, pyramid pose. Now we'll go ahead and come to the other side, adjusting your feet as needed, placing our hands to the ground if we can, our knees to our nose. And from here, we'll go ahead and come to the short end of our mat as we come into dancer, lifting our right leg up, grabbing it with our right hand at our ankle, lifting our left hand beside our side or in front of us. We'll go ahead and breathe in and breathe out, trying to gain our balance here. And it's okay if you're not able to do so. We'll go ahead and bend our knee and bring our chest down, making our thigh and our chest parallel with one another, gazing down, hinging at the hip. We'll go ahead and bring that foot down as we begin to lift our left leg up. We'll go ahead and hold it with our left hand at the ankle, placing our right hand either by our side or off to the side to help us with balance, reminding ourselves that we can transform the physical balance that we focus on today into balance in our lives, with our family, our loved ones, our work, our careers, and our own health. And from here, we'll go ahead and bend at the knee, bring your chest to the ground, looking down, breathing in and breathing out. And from here, we'll go ahead and come into a high lunge, bringing our hands together and twisting to one side, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And from here, we'll go ahead and place both hands on the ground as we come into three-legged dog, lifting one leg up. We'll go ahead and crunch it in as we curve our backs and bring our knee to our tricep. And then we'll go ahead and bring it back out. And we'll go ahead and crunch it back in as we bring it past our elbow. And we'll go ahead and bring it back out. And from here, we'll go ahead and crunch it back in towards the opposite hand. And then bring it back out. And we'll come into a downward facing dog as we come into a high lunge on the other side. We'll go ahead and twist, bring your elbow past our knee with our hands in prayer, gazing up, breathing in and breathing out, breathing in and breathing out. We'll go ahead and place our hands to either side of our foot as we bring our leg up and come into a downward facing dog, into three-legged dog. And from here, we'll bend our knee and crunch to our triceps. And we'll bring it back out into a three-legged dog. And then we'll crunch back in as we bring it to past our elbows. And then we'll go ahead and bring it back out. And then we'll go ahead and crunch to our opposite hand. Breathing in and breathing out. And we'll go ahead and crunch back out into three-legged dog as we bring that leg down and come into downward facing dog, prancing out our feet. From here, we'll go ahead and bend our right leg, placing it on the ground, bringing our sit bones to the ground, and bring your left leg behind us, bending it as well. We'll go ahead and grab our left leg or left foot with our left hand, and we'll go ahead and try to reach our right hand to meet our left hand. And you may not be able to do this, but try. Go ahead and breathe in and breathe out. Go ahead and try to sway forward, bringing your stomach and chest to your forward thigh, to your right thigh. Breathing in and breathing out, swaying forward and back, feeling that stretch in your right thigh. Breathing in and breathing out. And from here, go ahead and bring your right hand to the ground, bending it at the elbow, and trying to lift your left leg up with your left hand. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. From here, go ahead and rise up, bringing your left knee to the ground with your left foot lifted and your right knee off the ground, bent forward, keeping your right foot grounded, placing your left hand at your left leg and your right hand at your knee of your right foot. Go ahead and balance here, leaning forward, feeling a stretch in the tops of your left quad. Really bending forward as much as you can, feeling an extension in your inner thigh. And from here, go ahead and lean back into a half split as you bring your hands to either side of your forward leg, straightening it out with your right leg straight. Go ahead and creep it forward if you need, lifting up your toes and placing your heel on the ground, pushing yourself back, feeling a stretch in your hamstrings as you bring your chest to your thigh. And from here, go ahead and continue to pull back as you come onto your sit bones. And go ahead and take a seat with your left leg bent behind you and your right leg lengthened out in front of you. And from here, go ahead and twist to the left as you bring your right oblique to your thigh. Bring your hands over your head, trying to reach your toes. And as you reach your toes, you may not be able to do so, but go ahead and continue trying. And with practice, you'll be able to get there. Feel the stretch in your quads, your glutes. And from here, you can go ahead and adjust your left leg to come out to the side for a deeper stretch, or bring it in closer to your right thigh to make it a lighter stretch, bringing it in as you bend forward, continuing to revolve to the side. As you reach for your toes, go ahead and breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now go ahead and bring your left leg to bend in front of you as you bring your right leg behind you, bending that. Go ahead and adjust yourself and bring your right hand to your right foot at the ankle, trying to reach for it, bending your torso, engaging your core, trying to hold your right foot with your hands interlaced above your head with your elbow, breathing in and breathing out, breathing in and breathing out. From here, go ahead and place your left forearm to the ground as you continue to reach for your right leg with your right hand. Go ahead and bend forward and then bend back, lifting your chest up, continuing to pull your right leg and right foot towards your back. And then again, lean forward. And from here, come onto your left leg, bending it at the knee with your foot on the ground, lifting your sit bones off the ground, and keeping your right knee on the ground with your right hand still pulling your right foot forward. Go ahead and place your left hand on your knee and feel the stretch in your inner thighs as you draw your left leg forward and your right leg back. And from here, slowly come onto your sit bones as you lean back and stopping in a halfway split, placing your arms to either side of your elongated left leg with your right leg behind you. Stretching it here as you come onto your sit bones in a seated position with your right leg bent and your left leg straight. From here, you're going to twist at the torso and bring your left oblique to your thighs, gazing up as you reach your hands to your toes, your left toes, both hands to your left toes, breathing in and breathing out. Again, adjusting your left leg by drawing it back or bringing it forward, or doing both as you breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And from here, we're going to go ahead and come onto our stomach with our hands by our side. We're going to lift our legs up as we lift our chest off the ground. Breathing in and breathing out. We'll go ahead and come back down and come into a child's pose as we bring our sit bones back, our hands by our side or in front of us or in front of our forehead, our navel softly pulled in, our hip flexors, core, and pelvic floor engaged, our shoulders towards the floor, our spine long and lengthened towards our neck, our back active, our hips engaged and internally rotated forward. Go ahead and rest here. Coming back to that vision that we had, that we created and cultivated at the beginning of class. Reminding ourselves of that as we breathe in and breathe out. We'll go ahead and bring our hands to the left side of our mat. And from here, we'll go ahead and come into a twist, shining our hearts to the left side of the room. We'll go ahead and bring our hands in prayer. And from here, we'll go ahead and lift our chest off of our thigh as we place our left hand on our head, bending our elbow, and our right hand on the ground, pushing up. We'll go ahead and twist here as we come back down into child's pose, bringing our hands to the right side of our body. And from here, we'll come and bring our hands into prayer as we find a twist, bringing our left elbow to our right knee, bending here, gazing up at the sky. And from here, we'll go ahead and bring our torso off of our thigh, lifting our chest up, bringing our right hand to our head as we bring our left hand to the ground, bending our right hand as we twist and gaze up, breathing in and breathing out, breathing in and breathing out. We'll go ahead and come back into a child's pose, bringing our hands in prayer behind our back, bringing our elbows forward as much as we can get them, feeling a stretch in our shoulder. And from here, we'll elongate our legs as we bring our forearms to the ground, lifting our chest off the ground, trying to keep our hips in place. And from here, we'll go ahead and bend our right leg, and we'll go ahead and shine our hearts to the right corner of the room, to the right side, bringing our left hand underneath our upper body and keeping our right over our head. We'll go ahead and breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And from here, we'll go ahead and come back to center, bringing both forearms to the ground, keeping both legs straight behind us. We'll go ahead and lift and bend our left leg, bringing it closer to our chest, to our upper body. And from here, we'll go ahead and bring our right hand under our upper body and bring our left hand over our head. Breathing in and breathing out, shining our hearts to the left side of the room. Breathing in and breathing out. We'll go ahead and come back and bring our forehead to our palms as we rest our head on our palms or on the backs of our hands with our elbows bent, our legs straight. Breathing in and breathing out, coming back to that vision that we created at the beginning of class. Breathing in and breathing out, maybe thinking of the plan that we have to bring that vision to life. Breathing in and breathing out, reminding ourselves that we have the power to embrace change, replacing any negative thought that we may have with a positive one, reminding ourselves that we are only human and that we are here for growth. We'll continue to breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out as we show ourselves self-love reminding ourselves that we can fill our hearts with love and gratitude and spill that love onto everyone around us, to the people we care about, to the people we encounter, and to the people that we may not know. Breathing in and breathing out. Remind yourself how grateful you are to take the time to practice, to be there for yourself, and to be there for your family and your loved ones and your friends. When you're ready, we'll go ahead and come to Samasthiti at the top of our mat, with our hands in prayer and our feet grounded. We will be ready to begin the rest of our day. Namaste.